Isn't it weird that now that they have to admit that COVID is over and we are winding down one crisis, another crisis starts up in Eastern Europe. But something about this issue with Russia invading Ukraine that is not being talked about, and a word that is being thrown around that I want to address in this video is the word unprovoked. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about this invasion in Ukraine being unprovoked. This is what Joe Biden said.
The Russian military has begun a brutal assault on the people of Ukraine without provocation, without justification, without necessity.
But is that true? Is what is happening in Ukraine right now, is it unprovoked? Do you know what happened in 2014 in Ukraine, where the government of Viktor Yanukovych was basically overthrown in a coup d'etat? And I don't remember anyone in 2014 changing their Facebook image to the colors of Ukraine or lighting the Eiffel Tower in the colors of Ukraine. I don't remember all the posts, pray for Ukraine back in 2014 when a lot of people were injured and hurt in what was ultimately a civil war. But did you know that the United States government picked sides in that civil war, and we aided in the coup d'etat? This is a phone conversation that was leaked to the world. It was senior foreign policy diplomat for the Obama administration named Victoria Nuland having a phone conversation with the ambassador for the United States in Ukraine. And they're talking about the overthrow of the Yanukovych government and who they are deciding. These two Washington diplomats are deciding who is going to take over and be the prime minister after the coup d'etat is successful. This is the part that the United States is playing in this. And you hear these two diplomats on the phone talking. This phone call was leaked to us. We don't know who leaked it to us. Most likely was Russia. But you hear these two Obama senior diplomats, an ambassador and a senior State Department diplomat, Victoria Nuland, who's working for the Biden administration now. Victoria Nuland is in the Biden administration running his Ukraine policy. But it's really interesting. You look at even how many views. I'm getting ready to play this, the audio from this phone call from this YouTube page, and you look how few views this YouTube page even has. This phone call, even though it was leaked, it was never played in the United States on any of the media. So few people know about this phone call, and that's why you have to support people like me, because the media is not telling you any of this. But listen to this phone call, and you listen to Victoria Nuland, and they're talking about putting Yuck in. And Yuck is basically the guy who becomes the interim prime minister. His name is Arseniy Yatsenyuk, and that's who they're talking about when they say Yuck. Arseniy Yatsenyuk becomes the prime minister. Alexander Tuchnov becomes the acting president after the coup. Both of these men were in a far-right group called the Fatherland, and after the Fatherland, they created another group that was basically the same members of Fatherland, and it was called the People's Front. And this far right, socially conservative group was backed by the Obama administration in the overthrow. Not only far right and socially conservative, but ultra nationalists, Ukrainian nationalists is what they were. And we basically aided in the overthrow of Yanukovych, and we put these two puppets in a coup d'etat. This is what the United States did. So when they talk about unprovoked, that's a lie. Take a listen to this phone call that you probably never heard.
What do you think?
I think we're in play. The Klitschko piece is obviously the complicated electron here, especially the announcement of him as deputy prime minister. And you've seen some of my notes on the troubles in the marriage right now. So we're trying to get a read really fast on where he is on this stuff. But I think your argument to him, which you'll need to make, I think that's the next phone call we want to set up, is exactly the one you made to Yachts. And I'm glad you sort of put him on the spot on where he fits in this scenario. And I'm very glad he said what he said in response.
Good. So I don't think Klitsch should go into the government. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you think, what, in terms of him not going into the government, just let him sort of stay out and do his political homework and stuff. I'm just thinking in terms of sort of the process moving ahead, we want to keep the moderate Democrats together. The problem is going to be Tony Book and his guys. And, you know, I'm sure that's part of what Yanukovych is calculating on all of this.
I think Yachts is the guy who's got the economic experience, the governing experience. He's the guy, you know, what he needs is Klitsch and Tony Book on the outside. He needs to be talking to them 4 times a week, you know. I just think Klitsch going in, he's going to be at that level working for Yatsenyuk. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Okay, good. Well, do you want us to try to set up a call with him as the next step?
My understanding from that call, but you tell me, was that the big three were going into their own meeting, and that Yachts was going to offer in that context a three-way, you know, the 3+1 conversation or 3+2 with you. Is that not how you understood it?
No, I mean, that's what he proposed, but I think just knowing the dynamic that's been with them where Klitschko has been the top dog, he's going to take a while to show up for whatever meeting they've got, and he's probably talking to his guys at this point. So I think you reaching out directly to him helps with the personality management among the three, and it gives you also a chance to move fast on all this stuff and put us behind it before they all sit down and he explains why he doesn't like it.
Okay, good. I'm happy. Why don't you reach out to him and see if he wants to talk before or after?
Okay, will do. Thanks.
Okay, I've now written, one more wrinkle for you, Jeff.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I told you this or if I only told Washington this, that when I talked to Jeff Feltman this morning, he had a new name for the UN guy, Robert Seri. Did I write you that this morning?
Yeah,
okay.
I saw that.
He's now gotten both Seri and Ban Ki-moon to agree that Seri could come in Monday or Tuesday.
Okay.
So that would be great, I think, to help glue this thing and have the UN help glue it. And, you know, fuck the EU.
No, exactly. And I think we've got to do something to make it stick together, because you can be pretty sure that if it does start to gain altitude, the Russians will be working behind the scenes to try to torpedo it. And again, the fact that this is out there right now, I'm still trying to figure out in my mind why Yanukovych did that. But in the meantime, there's a Party of Regions faction meeting going on right now, and I'm sure there's a lively argument going on in that group at this point. But anyway, we could land jelly side up on this one if we move fast. So let me work on Klitschko, and if you can just keep, I think we want to try to get somebody with an international personality to come out here and help to midwife this thing. And then the other issue is some kind of outreach to Yanukovych, but we probably regroup on that tomorrow as we see how things start to fall into place.
So on that piece, Jeff, when I wrote the note, Sullivan's come back to me, VFR, saying you need Biden, and I said probably tomorrow for an attaboy and to get the deets to stick. So
okay.
Biden's willing.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks.